How many of you know how Michael Feinstein was discovered? We know the Rosemary Clooney story, we know Liza Minnelli's story, but who was the person that actually signed Michael Feinstein to his first record contract? Think about that. He's a man who started his career in music publishing working for Frank Lesser, the great Broadway man, Guys and Dolls, The Most Happy Fella. He also worked with Meredith Willson. He became the president of the CEO of 20th Century Fox Publishing, right here in Los Angeles. Then he started his own record company, and all of a sudden, he meets up with Michael Feinstein. How did that happen? Herb Heisman, take it away.
To borrow a phrase, in the beginning, my wife, Leatrice, and I met Michael at a party of a mutual friend. Michael obviously was the hit of the evening. Several months later, my wife's birthday was approaching. I said, "What do you want for your birthday?" She said, "I want Michael Feinstein." True story. So we had a party in our home, and obviously the party was a smash. Michael was the hit of the party. Michael had played in several small clubs around Hollywood where he honed his skills. Eventually, he opened at the Mondrian Hotel on the Sunset Strip. As I remember, the cabaret and the Mondrian was sort of the back end of the lobby. There was nowhere in town at that time where audiences could go to hear show tunes and songs of the golden era of songwriting, including the songs of the Gershwins, Irving Berlin, Cole Porter, and on and on and on. He was so good, we would take friends in there and people would come out and say, "I feel like Michael was just singing directly to me." There was an intimacy that just pervaded the whole room. One friend said if I could buy records and cassettes with those kinds of songs and Michael's kind of voice, I'd start buying music again. That's when the light bulb went on. I asked Michael one evening, "How would you like to cut an album?" He said, "Do you think you can sell records with my voice singing these songs?" It was certainly out of the main flow of what was being sold and recorded those days. I said, "Yes, I can sell them." We planned the first album and called it Pure Gershwin. The idea was to capture the intimacy that the audience felt at the Mondrian. From the Mondrian, Michael opened in San Francisco in the York Hotel's Rose Room and was a hit there. Word got back to New York about Michael's success on the West Coast, so he was booked into the Oak Room at the legendary Algonquin Hotel. Prior to his opening, I sent an album to a Sunday afternoon FM disc jockey named Jonathan Schwartz, who loved it. I was told by people who lived in New York that he played it like it was the national anthem. Michael was selling out the Oak Room. One day I'm in California. I get a call from New York from Ahmet Ertegun, who at the time was the president and owner of Atlantic Records. Said, "Herb, you gotta help me. I've got 6 people. I'm trying to get reservations at the Oak Room, and they're sold out 3 times I've called." I was able to get them in. Michael's second album, therefore, was called Live at the Algonquin. We recorded 3 shows and boiled it down to 1 album. The following year, we were approaching Irving Berlin's 100th birthday celebration. Obviously, it was going to be a big musical event, so Michael's third album we called Remember and recorded 19 Irving Berlin songs, including some medleys. Also included was a duet with Liza Minnelli. At this point, I felt that Michael deserved the support of a major record label. So I made arrangements for Elektra Records to take over his recording activity. Since then, it's been nothing but onward and upward for Michael. Michael, your career has been remarkable. I'm so proud to have played a small part in the beginning of such an illustrious career. This tribute today and this award you're receiving is very well deserved. Congratulations.
It's really a pleasure for me to introduce this next couple because when you talk about the Great American Songbook, they can still write them, and this couple has proved it. We're talking about Alan and Marilyn Bergman. How about The Way We Were? Pretty good song, written by Alan and Marilyn Bergman. It's the soundtrack of many of our lives. How about Summer Me, Winter Me? How do you keep the music playing? There's so many, The Windmills of Your Mind. They've won Academy Awards, they've won Oscars, they've won Emmys. They've covered every major avenue there is in music. Alan and Marilyn Bergman.
Good afternoon. Today, the Pacific Pioneer broadcasters honor Michael Feinstein for his contribution to the airwaves. As a performer, Michael has kept the Great American Songbook alive and well. His love of the music and its history sets him apart from other performers. He has graciously hosted musical events, particularly at Feinstein's in New York, where for 14 years, the best performers, musicians, and music found a home.
I had all kinds of things to say written here like Alan, but about his contribution to American music and his role as an archivist and protection of the physical American music in records and sheet music and manuscripts and everything, as well as in, the American music itself that we hear. But that's all been said many times, and you know that. But I don't know that enough attention is given to Michael as a pianist and a self-accompanist. Somebody said about Ginger Rogers that enough attention was not paid to her, that it all went to Fred Astaire, yet she did everything that he did in high heels and backwards. True. Michael accompanies himself so easily and flawlessly and almost without thinking that you don't pay attention to it. Fortunately, we pay attention to what he's singing, but it's a feat. And I urge you, the next time you're fortunate enough to hear Michael and see Michael, just pay attention to the pianistics and the virtuosity of his piano playing. It amazes me. And he never looks down at his hands, he never pays attention. It's just there, And that's a gift. Of course, you don't sing lyrics when you play the piano, so I also have to praise his beautiful, sensitive singing. And sensitive is the perfect word for Michael. He is a sensitive friend and a sensitive musician and a sensitive person. And I love him very much, and I'm so happy every time he's honored, because you're honoring more than just Michael. You're honoring a lot of people in back of him and in front of him. And, there are wonderful people writing songs today, as Bill said. I mean, we can't forget the Stephen Sondheims of the world. Oh, as if there were many. There's only one, but we can't forget him. And other big people, there's Jimmy Webb, and there's Joni Mitchell, and there are a lot of great songs being written in our time. But history is terribly important, and we all stand on those shoulders. So thank you, Michael. I honor you, I treasure you, and I can't imagine the world without you.
Thanks for joining us. I can already feel the excitement building for our next Hollywood Media Professional Celebrity Showcase.